Hey gang, today we're going to do a few variations on what I call a piano boogie blues or a piano roll. It's something you might hear in an old T-Bone Walker song or something like an imitation of what the piano is doing in one of those old songs. Anyway, I hope you like it, and if you do, please click the like button and subscribe for one of these every week. All right, here we go. In just a second, we'll do it close up. All right, gang, let's go over this note for note. First thing, you'll probably want to download the tab from the link in the description below. It's going to make your life a lot easier. Okay, well, you probably noticed that this is a blues in G, so the three chords are a G, a C, and a D, usually a D7. All right, so those are our three chords that we're working over. We're going to do this from the simple to the more complex. The first time around, what I played was something very straightforward. It sounded like this. Right? All right, so over the G chord, which is what I was just playing, you'll notice that what I'm doing is I'm playing two beats or two notes each time, so I'm playing it down, up. All right, and I'm starting on the 6th string, 3rd fret. Then I'm going to the 5th string, 2nd fret. Then the open D. And then the 2nd fret on the 4th string. And then the 3rd fret on the 4th string. And then I'm just coming down. And repeat. Now when I go to the C chord, I simply go from the 2nd to the 3rd fret. And basically I'm playing that same pattern that I just played, but just shifting up a string. So instead of playing 6, 5, and 4 strings, I'm playing 5, 4, and 3 strings, like so. And then I'm back to my G. And now this next pattern is going to show you that this is actually a movable pattern. You can play this even though we're playing in an open position. You can play it in any key. You can shift it up. And so we're playing on the D chord. We're going to start on this D on the 5th string, 5th fret. Then we're going to do 4th string, 4th fret. 2nd string, 4th string, 4th fret. Yep. And then we're going to do 3rd string, 2nd fret. 4th fret, 5th fret, 4th, 2nd, and back to this, 4th string, 4th fret. So it's like this. All right, and we end it with simply this. We're just trying to get up to that little turnaround. Here's how I played the turnaround. All right, so that's the first time around. Very straightforward. And the second time around, we're going to try and jazz it up a little bit, or just hip it up a little bit. All right? So, again, this is a movable pattern. If we were going to play it in A, I could simply play this. You'll notice that it's just slightly syncopated, right? So you want it to shuffle just a little bit. So try and play sort of like I don't know what they say, it's a dotted 8th note or something like that. But it's just a little bit syncopated instead of like. You don't want to make it sound like the Batman theme. You want to make it swing just a little bit. So I'll play it slowly. I'll show you the difference. Here's the non-swinging. You want to make it sound kind of like this. I'll exaggerate it. Typical blues shuffle. Okay, let's do the second variation now. The second variation has a couple of chords that come in. Let me play it slowly so you can see it. And it's based totally on the first version of it, but we're going to skip the beginning and we're going to skip the end. So instead of playing this, we're play this. All right, and that's basically it. So it's the same as the first one, except we're skipping just the very beginning, this part, da da, that part, and we're skipping the very end, and we're inserting some chords. So here's what I'm playing very, very simple chords too. I'm basically playing seventh chords and sliding into them. So here's the first slide. I'm going to start with this, and I'm thinking about sliding to my G7 chord right here, except I'm only going to play the G7 chord based on the fourth and third string. So check it out. Instead of playing this full G7, right? Instead of playing that, I'm only going to play the chord, the notes on the fourth and third strings. Right? And I'm just going to slide that from the chord above it, okay? Like so. You hear how that's just a really simple G chord. All right, so that's what I do the first two times. I play this. So I'm thinking I'm headed to that G7 from a half fret above. I'm just going to slide it down. And I'm playing that G7 is just the two notes there, fourth string, third fret, third string, fourth fret. Okay, I do that twice. And then I go down one. Now why do I go down one? Well, interestingly enough, I've done a lesson on this before. You can check it out. Oops, up there. You can check it out up there. I did a lesson on this one. Danny Gatton used to call this the two-note wonder. And you can play a whole blues just based on these chords. But check this out. This is two notes from a C chord, but just played on the third and fourth strings. It's the C chord, but just the notes on the third and fourth strings. All right, so that's what I'm targeting now. Now I just go back. This time I go from under because I've been at that C. Now I'm going to go to a D chord. You guessed it, it's just a one fret up from the G chord. It's this D chord right here. But again, I'm only playing on the third and fourth strings, just these two. So that slides up from that G. Back to my G chord. And that's the second variation. All right, let's play the third and final variation now. And this one is a little bit more complicated because we're using pick and fingers, usually either just the ring finger or the ring and middle finger. And we're going to be playing our pedal notes with that. In other words, we're playing the same thing over each chord with our fingers, and we're moving around with our pick. All right, so let me demonstrate by playing the first one. So here's what we're going to play over the G, okay? One more time. Okay, so you notice that I'm playing a note and then I'm plucking up with my middle finger on the same note each time over that G, which is the fourth string, fifth fret, which also is a G note. All right, so we're going to start this. We're going to start by playing with the pick, sixth string, third fret. Then we're going to slide from 5 to 7. Again, playing up with our middle finger on the fourth string, fifth fret. Now on the fifth string, we're going to play 5, 7, 8, back to 7, back to 5, sixth string, seventh fret. And it starts again. it's kind of syncopated there. All right, so that's what we're playing over the G. Over the C chord, we're going to play something a little bit different. We're going to use both our middle and ring finger. And we're going to play on the second and third strings. Imagine that you're playing the C chord right here, right? On the 5th fret, you've got this little mini C chord where you're playing on the 3rd string and the 2nd string. All right, so we're going to start out by playing 5th string, 5th fret. Slide up from 5 to 7. And then the same pattern on the 4th string. 5, 7, 8, 7, 5, and 7 on the 5th string. Here it is again slowly. Back to the G then. And now to our D. D is exactly the same pattern as the C, except we move it up 2 frets. And then we're back to the G. And that's basically it. All right. So that one in particular, you can do lots of things with it. You can change up where you are. For example, we could have played the C like this. But I rather like that slide. I think it sounds good. When going to the 7th fret on any of these, on the G or the C, you can add a little hammer on. And that sounds kind of good. Anyway, endless variations. Get the basic one down and then have a blast with it. It is just a lot of fun to play. And to lay down a backing track and solo over too then, double trouble. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that one. A bit of nostalgia there. But anyway, it gives you a few ideas of what you can do with something like that, from the really simple to maybe something a little bit more complex or hip sounding. All right. Till next time, we'll see you on down the road.